Virginia, they're building something. They're building something, but how many people are going to stay? How many more people can he get in? How much money are they going to have to be able to keep Scotty Fox Jr., et cetera? That really now has changed the coaching game. It's all about the money.
And Vince, it seems like the expectations at Auburn seem a little unrealistic, just like in a lot of the SEC schools, but they have their main rival, Alabama, who has obviously had a Hall of Fame, one of the greatest coaches of all time. He retires. They maybe have a lull for maybe a year and a half, if you even want to call that. They fully rebuilt. They're looking for another national title. And Auburn has never really had consistency. I mean, they'll be up and then they'll always have a few down years and then they'll be up for a few years. What can you expect there? I mean, you got Tommy Tuberville, who wasn't even a great Auburn coach, chiming in also. I mean, that's a tough for anyone, but Hugh Freeze didn't even have a chance, Vince.
No, I'm going to piggyback off of what John just mentioned. You go back in time and not that far back, pre-NIL, pre-portal days, where when head coaches were hired at a 4-year university, they were given 5 years. Because you would have to factor in, okay, you got to bring in your first recruiting class. And then when that recruiting class becomes seniors, so after a 4 or 5 year period, if you haven't won, then, you're updating your resume, so to speak. But now it's 2 years at the most. I mean, there is no patience whatsoever. And John's right. I think there's much less patience at the big time Division I coaching level than there is in the NFL now. I think most NFL coaches will at least get 3 years. And we're seeing right now where, boy, you better turn it around right now. And I just wonder with the West Virginia, I mean, you can see some progress being made, but fast forward another year or two, if West Virginia's not competing for a Big 12 title, guess what? They're looking for a new head coach.
For sure.
And that's not just West Virginia. That's everybody right now.
Matthew, I think the last time I was on the show, we spoke about how these college football coach contracts have been, where they've, pretty much put them on these 10-year deals or these huge deals, and they never, ever come to fruition. And this new NIL era, how can they keep paying $60 million? And, when you fire a coach, you still owe $16 million. I'm starting to think that maybe some of these big name head coaches are going to start going to the wayside. We're going to start seeing, I don't know, cheaper assistants or something, because how can you afford to pay a coach and then still afford to pay all your players?
No, you're spot on. I mean, you see all these rosters. I mean, they're 10, 20, $30 million rosters now at these big time schools. I think an AD needs to kind of take a step forward. I think you got to start treating these guys almost like players. I mean, it's going to be 2-3 year contracts. Giving out these 10, 15-year contracts at $10 million a year is ridiculous. I mean, a lot of these guys, why would you want to win? Look at Brian Kelly. Why would you want to win? All the effort, all the drama, all the BS he has to deal with. He loses, he's getting his $50 million and he can go sit on a beach somewhere. Like,
no doubt. And he set that expectation up, because he did so well his first year. Brian Kelly kind of, he's playing against his first year the entire time. It's really not that fair. Jay, there was a human element to this, right? Like, I mean, the guy has prostate cancer. His daughter went on social media, just basically she goes to Auburn as well and said, hey, we haven't even felt the love around here, but she just wanted to say, hey, he's been holding off some treatments and stuff. But then, of course, social media is going to go after that. Where does some heart and some compassion come into this play too, Jack?
Not here, not on social media. What's she thinking? I hate social media. I'm not even on it. I don't know. The wrong deal. Guys, nothing's going to change until the NCAA pulls their head out of their ass and starts making these kids sign more than 1 year contracts. Because look at the layers of who's doing the decision making. At least in the NFL, you got a crackpot like Woody and the Giants, who runs a horrific organization. He's a guy that is making all the decisions. You've got, forget the fans, they're nuts and have their opinions and will flip-flop like anyone else. But you start running through the university, and when you see what they've done at Indiana, and they turn this thing around in 1 or 2 years, they're using that as a model. I don't know how realistic it is, but these kids are able to flip-flop back and forth and just follow the money trail. That's where the whole thing starts. I mean, until the NCAA puts some regulations on that, makes the universities could sign these kids to multi-year contracts, and it could also put a limit on when this thing begins and when it ends. I mean, the fact that let's say you have a great year, Mitch, you go to the bowl game and 3 of your kids decide to sit out because they got a better deal for next year. What kind of, I mean, it is upside down. It's typical the NCAA. They couldn't run a lemonade stand.
No, Trent, and I've talked about this too. They could turn this into something that's special. If they did have multiple year contracts where all of a sudden it's flipped on its head and we're back into the 90s and prior, and we can actually root for kids a little bit. Do you think there is any chance, especially in basketball, like there's got to be incentives to do multi-year deals and make it worthwhile? Trent, do you think that's the future, or do the NCAA will just keep screwing it up the whole time?
Yeah, I think there is some merit to that and going on in the future. A lot of these kids are, I mean, obviously the NIL is very new, so it's going to take some time to develop and to be what it will be in the future. And I think there is multi-year contracts coming, multi-year deals. And to just touch on Hugh Freeze, playing in the SEC is not easy. Like top to bottom, they're clearly consistently the best conference every season. And I mean, Hugh Freeze, you got to win. You got to win the games against Arkansas, Kentucky. Like you can drop the games to Georgia, and that can be forgiven, I guess. But you got to win the games you're supposed to win.
John, you have a son that's gone to a couple universities. Matthew, you've been to a couple universities. What's it like? You've been to 2, right? Or I may be wrong there, but 2. But some of these kids are doing 3 or 4. What's the transition like, just from getting to school, getting there, and just life in general?
Well, you basically are giving up any semblance of an education and a degree that means anything. That's the biggest take that I've got right now. I mean, my son Joe's a junior. He's going to Maryland. He's going to get a degree that says University of Maryland, top 10 school in the United States, public school. If you transfer again, a lot like the Big Ten schools won't take you if you try to go there as a senior. I mean, they'll take you, but they won't give you a degree. You'll have to go there for 2 years, and your undergraduate degree will take 5 or 6. This is what Notre Dame, Big Ten, other schools will not take you. So then, you pieced your degree together, and then you're sacrificing, I think, a valuable education in order to get some short-term money. So this is one of the things that you have to be able to take into consideration when you're leaving like this.
When you're looking at that, I transferred one time, not for sports, just community college up to West Virginia. Just figuring out what credits transfer over and having to do that multiple times, we have to lose a bunch of credits, right? What is it like as a student, just even transferring once?
Oh no, it's definitely hectic. I know for me it was a lot simpler. I did the undergrad in 3 at Clemson, transferred as a grad student, so it was pretty simple for me. I've got a good buddy though. Started at Ole Miss, played at Texas, ended up at 3 different schools. It took him 5.5 years just to get an undergrad. Now, granted, I mean he played some high quality baseball. It was some cool experiences, but I mean, he's telling me every summer he's spending 2-3 weeks just trying to figure out how can I even get in. They promised me all this money, and now it's half of my credits don't transfer. It's just it's a cluster. And then you've got culture differences, facility differences, fan bases, geographics. I mean, the whole thing's a circus. There's a lot of elements to take into play.
And then the online thing is we know a bunch of players that transferred from West Virginia with Joe that they didn't take any. If you go to one of the better schools, they won't take any of your online classes. 0. I mean, I've got one player that I know, I'm not going to say who, obviously, but all of his classes for 2 seasons as a sophomore were online. He transferred into another school. They took 0 credits.
Oh, God.
0, because they said this online we just don't value it without some brick and mortar classes. I know somebody else that was got a scholarship from the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and they rejected him just on not on grades, but on the quality of the classes he had. So that's one of the big things that I think all parents have to take now into consideration. Because look, not all of these kids are going to end up playing professional ball or playing in the major leagues or playing in the NFL or the CFL or something. So you got to say, okay, what are you going to do when you get out? Like, what's your plan? And so I think that has to factor in.
I think that has to be fixed, right? Because maybe 2% play, past college, whatever the NCAA commercial that was on for like 20 years. Yeah, it's got to be set up for the 98% of the kids that still need an education, but do want to, compete. So if you're allowed, it's crazy. Okay, to round this one out, I'm going to go back to the Coach Vince. On this next hire, right? Hugh Freeze has to be. Do you go splash? Is it a steady program builder, a transfer portal whisperer? I mean, where do they go next for Auburn here?
Yeah, and who would want the job? Unless they want to obviously drastically increase their bank account, I guess you're doing it for the money. But
Jackson.
Well, it's always been. I mean, golly. I mean, let's look back in time with Auburn. I mean, with Cam Newton, and I'm trying to date myself here, but what was it, Gene Chizik, who was the head coach then, and you had Gus Malzahn, who had a 1 or 2 years of really good, got him into a title game, and going back, Tommy Bowden and Tommy Tuberville. Auburn has never had patience with their coaching staff. Never. Maybe the longest patience they had was with Gus Malzahn. That's it. All those other coaches were only there for maybe 4 or 5 years at the absolute most. So you're talking about a university that has had zero patience with their head coaches in the past. Now this like no patience on steroids, right?
No doubt. No doubt. Hey, you're listening to the Godzilla Wins Saturday Sports Pick Show. I'm joined by Vince Mayoko, John Fredericks, Trent Connor, Jay Delsing, and Matthew Lumsden. We have so many picks to get to, but last night something just really it made me mad. It was all right. So last night the USC, I don't know if you saw USC defeated Northwestern 38-17. All right. Knew that was going to happen, but there was a fake punt where they took the backup quarterback, put a new jersey on him, or a different jersey, the number 80 jersey, and they threw a pass for a first down. I see you shaking your head. First of all, how is that legal? And then is it unethical at best? And if you actually watch the broadcast, they were completely fooled. They were just like, wow, this punter has the great left-handed arm, and just went nuts. It just seemed so unscrupulous, but it seemed kind of cool at the same time. I don't know if I was mad or if I was just jealous that they just bent the rules a little bit. Did you see that?
Yeah, no, I mean, if it's within the parameters, who am I to blame them for it? I mean, fair play, unethical, probably, but yeah, no, I watched that whole thing and I'm like, I guess if it's fair play, go for it. I don't know why more people aren't trying that. I was watching it live, nothing else on a Friday. He just smooth lefty dime on an out route to the sideline, and I'm thinking, all right, like this kid might have a future.
Yeah,
like
I thought it was the punter.
Well, I was like, he's going to be at an SEC school for sure, making a couple million as a just trick play guy, and then sure enough, backup QB. But yeah, I think probably rule change in the future, but was pretty cool nonetheless.
Trent, I think Pat McAfee, our former WVU alum, is probably jealous that he never got to be part of something like that. Is it unethical? Do they need to change the rule? What do we do here?
Yeah, I think they should probably change that rule. I mean, I get like you got defensive guys having the same number as offensive guys. They got to change the jersey for kickoff, special teams, whatever. So I guess that's where the rule came into play. This guy was changing his jersey number for a special teams play. But it seems very unethical to I mean, it's trickery, right? It's you're putting your backup quarterback as the punter. I mean, something needs to be addressed in that specific situation going forward. But I mean, if it's fair now, I mean, can't really blame them.
Jay, it feels like sandbagging a little bit. It feels like, I was trying to give it a golf equivalency, but it seems like you're running into it with saying you have a 23 handicap when you're a +1.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to cheat in golf, but that's so.
It's not hard to cheat on my Muni out here. I can do it anytime I feel like.
Yeah, it's hard to cheat when you got cameras and people watching you all the time. But shouldn't there be at least the hey man, we got this guy changing jersey numbers or notify somebody? I mean, I saw that and I like Matthew said, I'm like, damn, why is this guy a punter? And because he's not.
Vince, have you ever seen anything like that in your baseball years?
No, that really, that's a rule that if it's in place and you're allowed to do that, that needs to be changed right now.
John, I'm always
you're on the roster. You're the number that the roster says you are, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like a Denny Green quote. I don't know.
But
They
John,
are
it's
who
a good
we thought
loophole,
they
right?
were, right?
It's a good
But
loophole. It's like a
and
tax
you know another thing that drives me crazy is the multiple numbers. Like 2 people on the roster will have number 1. Well, last check, there's not 100 people on a college football roster. Why doesn't everybody just have their one number and that's it, and make it simple?
Yeah, John.
Hey, Mitch, look who did it too. It wasn't UCLA, it was USC. Those boys from the other side of town, man.
Of course. Of course it is. John, we're all for a good loophole, right? It's just fun, right? They'll fix it just like the tax codes.
I mean, it's like that's exactly it. I mean, you play the hand you're dealt. I mean, you play it within the rules. If the NCAA couldn't figure out that you can't transpose a jersey on the sideline, their problem. The guy took advantage of a non-rule or a rule, whatever, but he had the trick play within the confines of what is in the NCAA rule book. So, he figured it out. Now, they should change that rule because there's a purpose of numbers, right? So you can identify who the player is or not, don't have any numbers. So, but look, he took advantage of it, and it was a smart move, and I'm sure but to say it's unethical, why? I mean, he was smart enough to figure it out, good for them. But is it something you want to be proud of? No, but here we are talking about it, right?
Good talking point. Good talk. Well, Northeastern got blown out. They probably woke up feeling a little sluggish, a little sore. They needed a little bounce back.
That's right.
John, would you recommend like Healthy Cell for this?
Oh man, you know what? I take my Healthy Cell. I take 3 of these a day. First, I take the REM sleep, which of course I took last night, which is why I look fresh as a daisy today. Got my 7.5 hours. I feel like a new man. So it puts you in the deepest of sleep. But then when I got up today, I take 2 things. I take my multivitamin, just tear it off, you down it, and then I take the Focus, which as you get a little bit older, it's all natural, and it keeps you a little bit sharper. But you need to get those multivitamins in. You go to GNC, you take a pill bottle, half of that stuff you pee out. You got the casing. Doesn't do anything. The Healthy Cell multivitamin is the way to go. Everybody should have this. But I tell you what, if you want to get a good night's sleep, and I know many of my friends on Get or Take It, but if you've kind of just heard me say this over and over and just haven't gotten to it, do it. Just got to go to healthycell.com, healthycell.com/Godzilla, promo code Godzilla. You will get 20% off your first order. And when that happens, it's going to come and you're going to get a good night's sleep immediately. But you got to get the vitamins in you. We all lead hectic lives. And I get up every day when I'm home. I take mine and I take Ann's and I put it on the coffee maker to make sure she takes it. So, because, you want to get the vitamins that you need, but the REM sleep is going to change your life one day. Boom, one night, you're going to sleep like a baby. Healthycell.com, promo code Godzilla, 20% off.
All right. Want to also thank our sponsors at WVSportsNation.com and WV The Torch. Let's get to some college picks, baby. Jack started off with us with a really good one here. We're going to start.
I love this game.
Of course you guys did.
I love this game.
This must have been on your chats chatting about Kennesaw State at New Mexico State. Kennesaw State 6-2-0 against the spread today. They are favored by 9.5. Hey, even if you have YouTube TV, you can watch this game because this one's on ESPN Plus. That's how important of a game it is, John. It's on ESPN Plus. You got to scroll 40 to the right to find it, just like West Virginia's basketball game the other night. But let's go around the horn. Coach Vince, 9.5, Kennesaw State at New Mexico State. What are you thinking today?
Well, I believe I checked last night. I think this has dropped to 7.5.
Whoa, hold on. Yep. All right.
I think it's dropped to 7. At least that late when I went to bed last night, he had dropped to 7.5. But before we get to that, I think we need to talk to the media marketing guy and maybe bring aboard Smith & Wesson as an official sponsor of the John Fredericks Radio Network, because it looks like we have a gun show today, guys.
Dude, I know. I want to.
So, but back to the football game. Hey, Kennesaw is atop right now the Conference USA standings. Big game for them. If in fact that line has dropped to 7.5, I see Kennesaw rolling today. at going to Las Cruces, New Mexico. Kennesaw 6-2, New Mexico State 3-5, and I think this is primed for a big win for Kennesaw State.
Okay, I'm going to go
I
to
believe
Trent.
they are, and are they the Mountaineers?
Oh,
Or
are
am I
they?
losing, or is that Appalachian State?
Appalachian State's
Appalachian
definitely the
State.
Mountaineers. Well, that was like 20 years ago, right? That Michigan upset. I can't
That's
believe
right.
I'm that
Yeah.
old.
Kennesaw
All right.
State's the Owls.
The
All right,
Owls,
Trent.
thank you.
Oh, right. Trent, I mean, I know you're going to be on ESPN Plus, glued to the TV for Kennesaw State at New Mexico. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to be watching the Mountaineers probably lose to Colorado. After they won
No,
last week.
no, stop that. You know you heard where we're sponsored by, right? Come on. All right.
Right. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie and say I know much about these teams, but I'm just gonna go off numbers here. The Kennesaw State gives up 21 points a game. And that's enough for me to back the Owls here and lay the points. The money looks pretty split here from what I'm seeing. So books are basically telling you pick a side and roll with it. So I'm gonna take Kennesaw State Owls minus 8.5, 9.5.
Jay Delson, are you gonna take the points, give the points? What do we think?
Do we have to watch this game?
You don't have to watch. Just put on your alerts.
I'm gonna lay the points, and hopefully they roll this thing up. You know what I love about college football? Style points still matter, so you can get, especially when you're live betting, you can just watch and go, yeah, we're not going to put in the second string till we're up by 40. I love it. So I don't know what's going to happen. I didn't even know New Mexico State had a football team. So here we go.
The digs. All right. With Matthew, I'm not even going to ask him what the money, like, I mean, the over under looks like this 52.5 looks a little high to me. He's all player props. I don't know if you did it for this one. Are you going to lay some points over unders? Where are you going here, Matthew?
No, unfortunately, I'm going to be pretty generic with the crowd. We're going to roll Kennesaw State. They've won 5 in a row. I think New Mexico State's like lost 5 of 6. This is normally your Conference USA midweek, like a Tuesday, Wednesday game that we normally get, but it's kicking off the show today. If you want to do like opponents, Kennesaw State beat, I think, La Tech by like 28, and La Tech beat New Mexico State by like 35. So I'm just going to go with trends on that one. I'm going to stick with everybody else.
He always has advanced research, doesn't he, John? Where are you going with this one?
Oh, I love this game. I'm so glad this game is on the card. I'm going to lay the, 7.5 or 8? I'm going to lay, it's the first bet I make when I go to my kiosk at 11:10 a.m. right down the street. The first bet I'm going to make is New Mexico State. I'm laying the wood here. The Kennesaw, I understand what some of the metrics say. They got to go on the road. New Mexico State, a much better team than anybody suspects. That's why they're the favorite. And I lay 10 in this game. I think this is going to be a blowout. I mean, Kennesaw State, they just don't play anybody. And I understand they're 6-2 or whatever, but I love New Mexico State at home here. Right now, they were minus 9.5. Everybody's betting Kennesaw State. I think DraftKings has it 8. I'm laying the 8.
All right. In game 2, and this one actually, well, regionally and also because of my West Virginia ties, I'm right up the road from James Madison. JMU at Marshall. The spread is 13.5 for this game. Marshall has a quarterback, man. Carlos Del Rio Wilson can play some ball, and they're all excited down in Marshall about this team. But JMU is an excellent football team, Vince, and they had or have aspirations to try to get into that playoff. They got to knock out, some of those others, Power 5 or whatever they call them. So JMU is playing for their playoff lives. Marshall having a resurgence a little bit here. How do you think this game's going to go?
Last night, Memphis, which was the top-ranked Group of 5 team, got beat.
Yeah.
If James Madison runs the table, I think James Madison is in the group of the 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
I think you can make a strong argument for that. So with that said, every game's huge for James Madison. And they need, as Jay mentioned, there are style points in college football, and James Madison needs to style point wins from here on out. They need to destroy teams that they play in order to make the playoffs. So go with James Madison today.
Yeah, Trent, and where I live in my area, the majority of people go to JMU or George Mason. So this is a huge game right now. And you're right. After that Memphis loss, Trent, they are in the driver's seat to make this playoffs. Do you think that Marshall has any chance of winning or at least covering the spread?
Yeah, I think Marshall plays. They've played pretty well at home this season, minus one loss early in the year, but they've handled their own at home. I don't think they win this game, but I think they keep it closer. I like Marshall plus the points. I also like the under in this game. A lot of big bets coming in on the under in this game. 42% of the bets, 56% of the money. So I'm gonna take the under and roll with that.
Jay, what are you thinking in this one?
I was looking at the under. It's always interesting to see what motivation is and how teams try to get up and home teams and stuff. And I've always kind of liked Marshall at home as well. James Madison, I think, is having a special sort of year. So I'm going to stay away from the number and just bet the total.
No, I mean we're very close to West Virginia. A lot of kids that go to West Virginia University are from that Hurricane area, down in Marshall. Matthew, the home field advantage is real when Marshall's decent, and I think it could be a little bit of a factor. Do you think enough to stay within 13.5 or outright?
No, I don't. If you ever get really bored and want to be a degenerate, you play college fantasy football. You start learning about some really random things.
Yes.
As good as
in
Del Rio is. Yeah, no. I have Alonzo Barnett on my fantasy team, the JMU quarterback. Kid's a stud. They scored 115 points in the last 2 games. That second half against a very good Old Dominion team was remarkably impressive. They beat the brakes off Texas State last week. Jay's an advocate for style points. I think James Madison runs up the score in convincing fashion.
John, what say you?
Blowout. Look, I love the style of football that Marshall's playing. They're 4-4. They're tough at home, but JMU has got a special defense. They're ranked 10th in defense against the run, and they run the ball. This thing could get ugly early, right? We all know what that saying means. This thing could get ugly early. I'm going to lay the 13.5. I'm with Vince here. I'm not a style points guy, but if you're JMU right now, you're fighting to get in this playoff, and you got a hell of a shot. You got to run the table. You got to beat the teams you should beat. They're 13.5. I think they roll here, and I think they don't take their foot off the gas, so they get a big win, and I think that's going to matter to them. So I would hate to be Marshall here. I don't think they're going to be able to stop them. I'll like the Dukes minus 13.5 blowout.
All right. We're going to go a little quicker through these games. I'm a little bit behind schedule, and there's some good ones at the end of here. Temple at Army. Army's favored by 6.5, over under 45.5. You can check that out on CBS. It's out at West Point. Vince, where do you think this game's going?
Yeah, Army started off slow this year, but they're playing better football now. And they beat Air Force, so they're one win away from winning the Commander-in-Chief trophy if they can take down Navy next month. But Army's playing much better. It's at West Point. I think Army's 7 points better than Temple, so take the Black Knights.
Absolutely. Trent, where are you going with this?
Yeah, one key stat I'm looking at here is Temple's rushing defense. They give up 192 rushing yards per game. Army's going to be able to run the ball, and they're going to control the game. I like Army laying the points here.
As an old guy that covers a lot of high school football, I love Army's off. I mean, it's just fun watching this game. Jay, where are you going?
Same, Trent. I'm right there with you, man. When I saw the stats on the lack of running defense, I'm like, they're gonna control the clock, control the ball, and cover the spread.
Matthew, where are you going with this?
Spot on. I mean, they're going to run all over them. Home game at West Point. Army kept it close with Tulane and North Texas, both good teams. I think Army wins convincingly.
John, are you going with the Army?
Army blowout.
I mean, look at my hat. I'm definitely going with the Army. We're going. I mean, I can't not.
Camouflage. I couldn't see it, bro.
I know. Yeah, I'm invisible today.
The problem Temple has here in this game, if you're a serious bettor, is depth on defense. Army's going to run the football the entire game. You get to the middle of the third quarter with Temple's defense being on the field like 3/5 of the game. They have no depth. They're gassed. They get tired. Army's going to keep running the football, dominating the line of scrimmage, and 7.5 here is going to be an easy cover.
All right, next game up, you got SMU at Boston College. SMU fresh off their victory over Miami. Boston College kind of hung in there with Notre Dame a little bit. Line for this one, as of yesterday, was minus 11.5, over under 54.5. Vince, what are you thinking on this?
Did I see this right? BC is 1-8 on the year.
They're awful.
They suck.
They're awful.
I was shocked when I saw that record. I knew they weren't great, but 1-8. Oy.
They're terrible.
Pony up. Mustangs roll today.
Yeah. Trent, what are you thinking?
Yeah, this is a spot that you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable making this bet. And I like Boston College plus the points after SMU beat Miami last week. I think Boston College is able to keep this kind of close somehow, some way. But I think you got to be uncomfortable with this bet and just do it.
Oh, hey, he's a Nike slogan over here, Jay. What are we doing?
I'm way too uncomfortable with that, Trent. I'm not down with that. I think Boston College just sucks. I can't. I hate betting on really, really bad teams. I do hate losing more than that, but I got to lay the points.
Matthew, where are you going?
Yeah, the entirety of the ACC is just an embarrassment. That being said, SMU's an average ACC team, and BC sucks in general and in the ACC, so we're going SMU.
There we go. John, where were you picking this one?
I don't bet bad teams, period. This Boston College is a very bad football team. And you get to the end of the season like this, things have changed, guys. It's all changed. These kids are playing for money, right? So if you're in Boston College, which is a very good academic school, right? You got classes going on. You're 1-8. You're going nowhere. You've lost interest. You got your money. You got paid. Now you're losing interest. That's the problem Colorado has today. They're losing interest. Blowout.
But wouldn't they showcase for all these other teams out there? Yeah, I'm with you. So when we talk about the Big Ten, you talk about the top echelon, and then you talk about this game. Maryland at Rutgers, those right in the middle, 4-5, 4-4. Hey, I'm sorry, hey, it's not the baseball team.
That's not very nice.
I know, but it's true.
That's mean.
But it's true. Rutgers.
No, it's not true. No, it's not true. Maryland got blown out one time. Okay, every other game the Terps got beat. They had the lead in the fourth quarter. The problem is just what I said about Temple. They have a very good defense, but they don't have any depth. And so they tire at the end of the game, and except for the UCLA blowout where they got beat 52-7 or 10 or something, every other game, Maryland right now could be 8-1 or 7-1. They were ahead of every game in the middle of the fourth quarter, every single game, and blew them. So this is not a bad football team. I love what they're doing in Maryland. I love their coach. I love the culture they have. And two of the games were actually sold out, which hasn't happened in Maryland football in a very long time. So don't be dissing on the Terps. They're better than you think they are.
All right. Bill Parcells would disagree with you. Your record is what you are. But Trent, this 7-1 in a multi-universe team, minus 2.5 under. They're not, Rutgers is favored by 2.5 against this great Maryland team. Where are we going?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean with Rutgers at home here.
What?
Yeah,
what? They fired, dude.
They're taking. They're getting about 30% of the bets, but 35% of the money. So some bigger bets being placed on Rutgers, and I would like to fade the public in this spot. If I was personally betting this, I would wait and bet it live, try and get Rutgers plus money. It's going to be a close game. Probably going to come down the field goal as the spread says. I'll live bet it, but for the show, I'll take Rutgers minus 2.5.
Oh, hey, Trent, I think you can watch Kennesaw State because your West Virginia tickets have been revoked. John just told me. He just took it. Yeah. You can now sit around and watch ESPN Plus all day. All right, Jay, where are you going with this? 7-1.
I'm going to El Paso. I'm out. I don't know. I mean, this game, I just skipped over this game. Sorry, John. I love you, bro. But, I mean, if I have to put $100 on this, I'm going with Rutgers. Ooh. This game, I got nothing for this game.
This $100, is that your unit? Is that, you giving away your unit here?
Oh, Well, my brother and I are a little sicker than that, so that's just kind of our.
But yeah, I just wanna this is me gauging myself.
$100 is his throwaway game, right?
Yeah.
For some of us, that's like our best bet of the weekend.
We're
For
not all
Jay, it's his
we're not all
throwaway game.
Well,
It's
it's
on
like
TV.
you
I'll
look
just
at
throw it away.
what's on, and you're like, if this game's gonna be on one of the boxes, we're gonna. That's our little watch.
We all don't host radio shows and former, athletes out here. That's a big unit. $100 unit is nice, Matthew. I'm sure yours are bigger than that too, but you don't have to expose.
Yeah, well, no, we're gonna get into some fun plays for Mitch. I'm going into the underdog. I know Jay can give you his little code for a little deposit match here, but I like DeJuan Williams. Antoine, I think it was Raymond, both running backs. I like their overs in fantasy. Neither team to run. I think easy touchdowns.
Guys, underdog JAY24. Send me your username. They'll match you up to $1,000, and then I can get you a little extra love. Underdog people are fantastic. Fantastic.
Is that a betting site? Like, is that like?
Oh yeah. Oh, they're
DraftKings and stuff.
Underdog. Yep. Just download the app. Use promo code J24.
What is it?
They'll
J.
match up.
What? Say it again. J.
Underdog. Here, let me pull it up, Chad. Because Chad, you and I are in the same age. I don't even know what an app is, so I got to show you the picture of it.
J20. Is that? Can you do it in Washington D.C.?
I believe so. They've got these prediction markets. Not that I follow this much. They've got these prediction markets that just hit Missouri. So Missouri is live right now where you can bet games, and it's fun. Yeah.
So I download the Underdog app. I put in J24, and they'll match my deposit.
Up to $1,000. I think
$1,000.
they give you half of the match up to $1,000, and then send me your username, and the boys will send you a couple dollars.
I can't even follow anything anymore. Like what happened? Like Barstool went away, ESPN Bet came in, went away. Now someone else is coming through. Like,
I know.
Good. Let's just stick with underdog.
ESPN Bet just folded.
I know. They paid, after they pay what's his name $1 to get his company back. Crazy. John, where you going with this Maryland game? I know where you're going.
Terps, baby, let's go. Hey, I love the Terps here. I love them going to Rutgers and winning this game. They could be 7-1. They got embarrassed last week in Los Angeles. It was a beatdown. They're a better team than that. They go into Rutgers. They win this game outright. I love the Terps. Fear the turtle.
No, they're going to Piscataway, New Jersey. I'm going to go with your turtle. I'll go with your Terps as well. It'll be fun. We'll throw my unit on there.
Let's go.
We won't discuss. All right, in the game of the week. Okay, maybe not. Colorado at West Virginia. Just remind you, we're brought to you by WestVirginiaSports.com and WV the torch, the flagship for West Virginia sports.
Vince, that's badass look right there.
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh, dude, Vince.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, get that. Oh, I hate the Buffalo. I'm going.
Props.
We'll go to you last. Trent. Come on. Oh, you already said what you're going to do, Trent.
Come on,
Yeah.
Trent.
This is a letdown spot for the Mountaineers.
Come on, man.
The public is loving the Mountaineers after their big win against Houston last week. They're getting 65% of the bets, 88% of the money line. I'm going to throw probably a unit on Colorado money line. Colorado's starting their true freshman quarterback. I think he was a 5-star recruit, Julian Lewis, for the first time in his career. Dion made the call this week. I think it's a perfect spot for him to have a favorable matchup against West Virginia. Their defense is I think I like Colorado as my play of the day. 3-unit play on the spread, 1 unit on the money line.
Jay, last week in the trenches, the Mountaineers finally looked good. Scotty Fox Jr. looked good. Cam Vaughn. It feels like there's something going on here right now. Any chance that the Mountaineers don't have a letdown?
You know what's going on is exactly what Trent said. Where's the sharp money?
Yeah.
Sharp money's on Colorado.
I know.
Not an accident. Wherever the public goes, you usually want to roll the other way.
You're going +6 in the fan? Is that what you're doing?
Definitely.
Matthew, where are you going with this? Come on, give me some hope.
Well, I'll tell you, whatever week it is, week 11, I'm in Clemson. We got Clemson FSU tonight, and I'm 20 times more excited about a West Virginia game. That was definitely not on my go card. So that being said, I like West Virginia, and then I want the West Virginia guys to play the day. We need to get the J Del code going. But Scotty Fox Jr. fantasy points on underdog
is 17.25. You do the basic math, go add up all of his rushing yards, passing yards, touchdowns. Underdog itself has him projected 22. So something's not given here. I don't like your guys' thoughts, but that was going to be my play. The 3.5 fantasy points from Scotty Fox Jr. I mean, that one's looking pretty good.
John, I don't think Matthew realizes that you all don't even know what fantasy football is. And now he's talking about the nuanced, weird world of college fantasy football, which I'm going to be in about an hour from now. And I can't wait for the rest of my life. John, are you going to go with that awesome prop bet, or are you just going to take some points? What are we doing here?
I don't know what fantasy is. Never done it. Don't do prop bets. Not interested. I bet the line, or I bet the money line. That's what I do. So it is what it is. But listen, if I got to tell you this, if Trent Connor wins this game outright, I will be a true believer for life. If you're right here and you're doing all the letdown and the 35% bet this team and all the smart money and the Sharks and this and that, if you're right and Colorado comes in and wins this game, then I am going to be a Trent Connor disciple for the foreseeable future. Now, look, having said that, Trent, you're going to lose your money today. Okay, maybe the cover. There's no way Colorado wins this game. They just got blown out twice. The team is disinterested. They're not tackling. They're not playing defense. Last week in Houston, West Virginia went in there. It's coming together. They beat a ranked team. They dominated the line of scrimmage. They got 250 yards rushing. They found a young quarterback, a young, exciting quarterback with a bazooka for an arm, who's also got some legs. They played better defense. Now, if you look at Rich Rod, okay, the UCF game, in my judgment, was the low point of the season. But since then, they've covered 3 out of 5 games ATS, right? And they're at home. There's going to be tremendous enthusiasm here. They're tough at home. But he's got to remember, he's got an RPO offense, right? Run pass option. They're very complicated for a lot of these transfer kids on offense to come in and figure this out. Now they're doing it. That was a signature win for this organization last week. You got to believe in Rich Rod and what he's doing. They go here. They're at home. There's going to be a beatdown today on Colorado, who can't stop anybody. I could see West Virginia putting up 5-6 touchdowns and winning this game handily because Deion Sanders' team has quit. That's the key. They're done. We'll see what happens. Love the Mountaineers minus the 6.5.
Let's see what the man on your right has to say. Vince, you've got Deion Sanders without his kids, trying to prove he can do it on his own right now. Struggling this year so far. Is this the bounce back game with your Colorado Buffaloes hat on?
Well, before I start here, I might be the most hated man in the state of West Virginia right now.
No, that's Trent.
But with that said,
it is Trent.
We coming and we here. And we are taking down the Mountaineers in Morgantown today.
Why do you get rid of preposition? What is? I don't even get that. That's a little sus there. It's slightly sus. All right, let's go Mountaineers. Come on. Mind you, we're brought to you by sportsnation.com and WV The Torch. Ding, ding. All right, let's get quick. We got to get – there's some good games here. This one – number 23, Washington at Wisconsin. The line for this one is Washington's favored by 10.5, over under 44.5. It's out in Madison, Wisconsin. Trent, where are you going with this one?
Yeah, Wisconsin scores 12.5 points per game. Washington gives up 20.9 points per game. Wisconsin's offense bad. Washington's defense is good. I'm going to take Washington and lay the points.
All right, Jay, quickly, where are you going?
Washington as well. I've been on them all year. Like them.
All right, Matthew?
Washington. Wisconsin's terrible.
Yeah. John, where are you going?
Huskies.
Vince.
Yeah, both these teams trending in opposite directions. Take the Huskies.
All right. Hey, quick little ad break here. We have a great sponsor called The Wellness Company. John, why don't you tell everybody about that? And then we're going to get to the serious good games that round out this college football schedule.
This is their medical emergency kit. Every family should have it. Vince, you and Tammy should have it. Mitch, your whole family should have it. Everybody should have one of these, especially if you have a family. Ann and I have replenished this thing 3 times. We use it constantly. It's got everything in here. It's got ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, Z-Pack, antibiotics. There's a guidebook that goes with it. You nip things in the bud. It's also got antiseptics. Everything you need is here for anything that happens with a guidebook. This is the number one thing your family should have. Saxman's got it. And Saxman gives these to his kids for Christmas because he understands they're never going to buy it, but then you have it. We always travel with it. Joe's got one. Claire's got one. Jack's got one. Just go to twc.health/Godzilla. I know you put this off. Don't do that. When you don't need it until you need it. twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla is going to get you 10% off. Get your emergency kit today for you and your family. Nip things in the bud. It's all right here.
All right. I want to nip these 3 games in the bud real quick because I want to get to BYU Texas Tech, and I got about a minute to get through 3 games to be on schedule. Number 5, Georgia at Mississippi State. Georgia favored by 9.5, over under 56.5 out in where's it at? Oh, it's a Mississippi State.
Vegas.
Vince, I'll start with you here.
Yeah, we'll be quick here. Go Dogs.
All right. Dogs. John, what are you thinking?
Mississippi State.
Ooh, Matthew.
Yeah, buying the half point, get it up to 10. Cowbells are going to be a difference maker today.
Oh, nice. Jay.
I'll go with that. I love it.
Oh, T, are you gonna buy that half point? You're gonna go with Ole Miss? Trent, what are you thinking?
Sharp money's on Georgia. I'm gonna ride with Georgia.
Wise man. Okay, top 25 matchup. First one we have seen on this run sheet today. Number 3, Texas A&M at number 22, Missouri. Missouri, man, when they had a quarterback, they were pretty darn good. Texas A&M's favored by 6.5, over under 48.5. You can catch that on ABC unless you have YouTube TV. Vince, where you going?
Yeah, I think every tough game, big game that Missouri's had this year, they've fallen. And A&M, they seem like a team on the mission in the SEC. They're playing for obviously a title game in the SEC and obviously the college football playoffs. So go Aggies.
Yeah, Aggies have a lot on the line, right, John? Where are you going?
I got to go with the Aggies. I mean, it's tough to bet against Mizzou at home because they're very tough at home. But I just think the matchup, Texas A&M is a superior football team. I'm going to take the favorite. All
right, Matthew, where are you going to go?
I got Mizzou +7. I think home game. Hardy runs well. They could dominate time of possession. I'm sure that's the game plan. Matt Zollers isn't terrible. Still a highly recruited kid. I like them to keep it close.
All right, Jay, what do you think?
Missouri has got a great defense and they run the ball. They have no kicking game. Drinkowitz passed on 2 30-yard field goals in the Vanderbilt game and completely botched the strategy there. I kind of like the under in this game. I think A&M's got a good defense too. I'm just concerned about Missouri turning the ball over when this true freshman quarterback tries to throw. So I'm going to probably play the total.
Trent, it's a big game for Texas A&M, SEC on the line. What are you thinking?
Yeah, Texas A&M has the best third down defense in the nation. I think that helps them win and cover this game.
All right. I'm going to go. Yeah. I'm going to where do I want to go? No one even cares where I go. I'm going to go Texas A&M just to go there. All right. Ohio State at Purdue, 30.5 point spread. We can be real quick at this. Vince, what do you think?
Yeah, they're going to win this game by 5+ touchdowns.
All right. John, you going to go with 30.5?
Lay it.
Ooh, Matthew.
Yeah, not going against Ohio State till they give me a reason to.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Trent, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I like Ohio State in this matchup. That quarterback for Ohio State's real tough. He's gonna be the difference.
All right, thank you. I wanted some time for this one. We've got, I know we have the SEC, we have the Big Ten, but the Big 12 is lurking out there trying to make some impact in this college football. BYU and Texas Tech have been tremendous this season. Texas Tech is favored by 10.5 at home, which just seems like a large spread. But when you've watched Texas Tech do their thing, it might not be. Trent, I will let you start on this one. We'll go around the horn the opposite way this time. What do you think?
Yeah, Tech is getting a lot of public love here, and I think it's warranted. I like them at home. BYU is a competent offense, but I think Tech's offense is even better. I like Tech.
All right, Jay, this is my game of the week, a game of the weekend. Where are you going to go with this?
Yeah, it's always interesting to see one of these guys try to stay highly ranked, and I always love when the ranked teams play. You know, when a higher ranked team is an underdog, it's kind of interesting. But I like Texas Tech. I think the home field is going to make the difference. That's where I'm going.
There's not a lot of love for Bear Bachmeier, Matthew. What is going on right now? I mean, and BYU's been pretty good.
No, they have been, but I mean, Lubbock's a crazy place. They got game day.
Yeah.
And Tech plays big boy football in the trenches. I mean, those are some monsters down there. They take a lot of pride in it. I think they get it done. That slip up at ASU, they need to win this game and need to win it convincingly.
Yeah, John, they do. What are you doing? What are you doing here? It's a large spread.
Vegas is begging you to take Brigham Young. They're begging you to do it with 10.5. Everybody's begging you to take BYU. When that happens, it happens for a reason. Texas Tech rolls here big.
I agree. Vince, where are you going to go with that?
Yeah, you know, if Tech wins today, which I think they will, they've got UCF and West Virginia left on their schedule. It's reasonable to think if Tech wins today, they obviously win those two. Even if they lose in the Big 12 title game, they're probably in the playoffs.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
So
yeah,
huge game for Tech today.
Yeah,
Red Raiders.
Before you all went, I'm cheating. I was going to go BYU, but John, you're right. They're begging you. I'm going to go with Texas Tech as well. All right, we got a couple more games left here. We have number 2, Indiana, the one team that everybody is just saying, hey, if you only need 1 year, you know, they're probably responsible for getting 3 coaches fired because of the success over there. They are playing at Penn State. Speaking of coaches being fired, James Franklin's been gone. They played decent. Yeah, they played decent last week, but obviously got blown out at the end. The line's only 14.5. I feel like they're begging you to try to, take Indiana. I don't know, over under 50.5. Matthew, I'm going to start with you, just randomly.
I mean, yeah, they can beg me all they want. Indiana beats the brakes off of people, and until they don't do it, I'm not going to go against them.
Jay, what are you thinking?
Same. I think Indiana's got a massive chip on their shoulder, and I love what he's doing down there. You know what? I don't think Penn State's got any heart right now. If Indiana gets up early, style points are coming in, they're going to just drown them.
Trent, where are you going to go?
Yeah, my initial look, I liked Penn State just given the number, but Indiana, best third down offense in the nation, second best third down defense in the nation. Penn State's not good on third downs. I think Indiana rolls here.
Vince, is it sort of a statement game for Indiana, you think?
Yeah, and they've got the prize in sight. And I'm telling you, if Indiana and Ohio State run the table, how huge will that Big Ten title game be? 2 undefeated teams, 12-0, staring each other down. That's too good to be true, right?
Yeah, no, John, I think we're all rooting for it. Do they get there by over 14.5 points, though?
Yeah. Yes, best bet of the week, Indiana minus 15. I think it's going to go up to 15 by the time I get over there to bet it. This is the best bet of the week. This is an absolute run up the score, pounce on Penn State, kick them while they're down, put your knee on their, step on their chest, blowout.
All right. All right. For the game of the week, or a lot of people think the game of the week, we will go with LSU at number 4, Alabama. Alabama is favored by 9.5. Over under is 49.5. Check it on ABC unless you have YouTube TV. Okay, I'll stop with the joke. LSU is a weird, quirky team. This seems like it should be a higher spread, but LSU can do some stuff. Vince, where are you going to go with this game?
Yeah, I believe this is LSU's first game since Brian Kelly's been fired. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Who knows? I mean, you see this a lot where teams that lose their coach, they come back the next week and they put up a battle. Are they capable? Yes, I think they're capable. But man, Alabama is really playing good football right now. I think you roll tide in this one.
Trent, are you going to roll tide on this one? Where are we going?
Yeah, I like Vince's point of a team rallying behind their new interim head coach. I like LSU plus the points. I don't know how they get it done, but I think they get it done.
Jay, where are you going to go?
I'm feeling it. I'm going with Bama. I like the Boers. I don't know how he steps in the situation he does, but he's still getting some players down there. So I like Bama.
LSU is 3-5-0 against the spread under their former coach Matthew. Does the new coach change that?
I don't think so. I think the offense has been underwhelming. I mean, they barely beat a South Carolina team. That's terrible. Barely beat a Clemson team. That's terrible. Got smoked by A&M. And Alabama since week 1. I mean, they've been red hot. DeBoer's probably going to be rocking that black hoodie. It's a home game in Tuscaloosa. I think that they got to keep making statements. I mean, Bama's got to roll.
John, can they do anything against the Steelers, future quarterback Ty Simpson? I'm hoping. I'm praying.
Coaching change or not, this is the same team that just gave up a 50 spot
this
at
is
home.
WJFN Goochland,
I'm going with
Chester,
Alabama.
and WJFB Portsmouth.
Bama.
All right, going with Bama. I'm obviously going with Bama. My dad's from Birmingham. We grew up as Bama fanatics. All right, that was the first hour of the show. We're going to get to the second hour of the show. That's going to be all NFL picks. May talk about the worst Thursday night football game I've seen since 3-0 Cleveland-Pittsburgh in 2003. We'll be back right after this with the second hour of Godzilla Wins.
West Virginia Sports Nation gives you a top-of-the-mountain view of the Mountaineers sports landscape. See what's happening in all the sports, far beyond football, basketball, and baseball. Gymnastics, track and field, rowing, swimming and diving, golf, volleyball, tennis. More sports, more stories. If the Mountaineers play the game, WVSportsNation.com has it covered. Up-to-date and insightful articles written by Mountaineers for Mountaineers Nation. WVSportsNation.com. WVSportsNation.com. WVSportsNation.com.
The best part about waking up in the morning is a great cup of coffee, and I get this every day with my 1775 coffee. It's rich, it's bold, best tasting coffee I've ever had. Single origin, farmed in Bolivia, 7,000 feet. It's always fresh, roasted daily. This is the best coffee you're ever going to get. Go to 1775coffee.com, 1775coffee.com. Promo code Godzilla, 10% off. It's going to make your day every day.
You woke up with a sore throat and a low-grade fever. You know you are getting sick, so here's your choices. You can get sicker and miss work. Try to see a doctor this week or sit hours in a crowded waiting room at urgent care.
I have a smarter option for you. Open your medical emergency kit. Match your symptoms to doctor-recommended prescription in your booklet and take the right meds now and get well faster.
This is not a first aid kit. It's like having an urgent care in your home. It includes doctor-prescribed medications to treat over 39 medical issues like respiratory infections, strep throat, pneumonia, UTIs, and more.
No waiting to see the doctor and no standing in line at the pharmacy. It's right here.
Every home should have at least one medical emergency kit, and here's how to order.
Order online fast and save $45. Your kit with prescriptions to treat common and life-saving illnesses is rushed to your door. Visit twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla. That's twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla.
John Frederick, your Godzilla of truth, fiercely independent.
No ties to Wall Street. I promote Main Street.
The John Frederick Media Network, privately owned and operated, on top of the issues on air and online.
Trucking the truth every day for 14 years.
The John Frederick Show drives your morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern. The only independent White House correspondent with live reports from the White House. Hit JohnFredericksRadio.com. Watch at JFMN.tv. John Frederick, your Godzilla of truth.
Who's going to stop me now?
Nobody.
Did you know that somebody could literally steal your house? Yeah, that is a thing that happens. It is when a criminal forges your signature on one document, uses one fake notary stamp, and then spends about $30, $40 with the county recorder. They then take out loans using your home equity as collateral. And the worst part of it is, you don't even know it's happening until you start getting collections and foreclosure notices. Most people don't check on their home title because why would you feel like you needed to? But this right here is why you need to use Home Title Lock. They have a $1 million triple lock protection that helps keep your home and equity safe. It includes 24/7 monitoring with protection immediately, urgent alerts in case there's any changes in your title. Then if fraud does happen, they have a US-based restoration team that will spend up to $1 million to fix the fraud and restore your title.
Find out if you're already a victim. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now.
John Frederick, He's America's Godzilla of truth. All week long, he's world-renowned for his proficient proclivity to prophesy the people's political picks with pinpoint precision.
Yeah, baby.
Then, on the weekends, he gets with the guys that are pretty wise, and Godzilla wins. Godzilla Wins, the sports picking show for winning dough. Money lines, parlays, over-under, the best plays. You choose the game, Godzilla picks the winners. Get expert analysis, exclusive insights, and have a little fun. When the game is on your mind and money's on the line, Godzilla Wins is your guide to picking winners. Godzilla Wins, on the screens of your TV and favorite devices, commanding radio airwaves far and wide. Before you make that play, hear what the Godzilla crew has to say. Presented by WestVirginiaSportsNation.com, it's time for Godzilla Wins, all across the John Fredericks Media Network. Oh yeah,
For entertainment purposes only.
All right, welcome back to hour 2 of the Godzilla Wins Saturday Pick Show, presented by WVSportsNation.com and West Virginia, the Torch, flagship and official sports radio partner of the WVU Mountaineers. And I just want to put this out there, Trent. I'm very jealous. I went to the Sugar Bowl 20 years ago. They're going to be celebrating the Sugar Bowl team from 20 years ago with Pat White and Steve Slayton and company. I believe it's a military appreciation, which is that for it. And then awesome. So, all right, we're getting to the second hour. This is all NFL. And unfortunately, there was already a game played this week. It was on Thursday night. Denver Broncos defeated the Raiders and my Geno Smith, who I just so desperately want to be a good quarterback, but he just doesn't show it consistently. 10-7, one of the worst games I've seen in a long time. All of a sudden, you have a Broncos team at 8-2, but has Steelers 11-0 vibes from 2001 for some reason. I guess we can start. We don't have to pontificate or talk about how bad Thursday night football is because it normally is. But Vince, when I watch these teams out here, and that's a little bit over towards towards the left coast over there, the Broncos 8-2, man. Like we talked about Parcells earlier, you are what your record states. Sometimes they've struggled, right? Like offense needs to get going. They've been relying on their defense. Do you think Denver's a real contender in this AFC?
You know, I would have thought so, but watching that Thursday night game, it was like that was painful to watch. I mean, you had half of Mile High Stadium was booing their own team, and they were 7-2. I mean, who in their right mind boos a 7-2 team when you're right in the ball game? But they were, and they were relentless. But yeah, I'm not sold on the Broncos. I'm not, and it's a tough division. Obviously, the Chargers are right there. I think even though the Chiefs got beat last week, they're going to be a challenge down the stretch. But I'm not sold on the Broncos.
Trent, it seems like, and I'm no expert on it, but it looks like Bo Nix has what they call in the business happy feet, right? Like he doesn't seem to ever get set. He's fine when he scrambles a little bit, feels like he's in his rhythm, kind of like a shortstop. But when he just has to sit in the pocket with in the pocket with the rush coming, there's some uncomfortability there. It just seems like they need him to take that next step and mature to be a legit contender. Am I right in that?
Yeah, I think his footwork definitely needs some polishing. He's phenomenal on the run, especially running to the right, his throwing arm. But I think Sean Payton needs to run this offense with a little more tempo, because they tend to play well in the fourth quarters, but when they slow it down a little bit, the offense gets a little stagnant. I think if they play with some tempo and they can put together 4 good quarters.
Yeah. Jay, I mean, you do have one of the greatest offensive minds in the game, with coaching at Denver, and they've had some success on offense. Do you think they can figure it out? I mean, winning when you're playing bad isn't a bad thing sometimes too. There's time to get this thing right.
Yeah, it's great when you have the defense that you can rely on. That can make up for a lot of offensive inadequacies. But I was disappointed in the game that Peyton called. He didn't get Bo Nix on the edge enough. He didn't. And to Trent's point, it's spot on. Why the hell are they successful in the fourth quarter? Because they pick up the tempo. And if they could have picked up the tempo against the Raiders their defense would not have looked so substantial. I thought the game was way too vanilla from a play call standpoint from Sean Payton. This is a guy that, he's usually got 3 or 4 tricks up his sleeve, and I don't know. They won ugly. That game was an Ambien right there. That was a nightmare to watch, especially because I had Denver. But anyway.
And Matthew, and for the fantasy football people out there, like Brock Bowers, who just came off his career game, had one catch for like -4 yards. I mean, so even from that prospect, it was awful. But struggling against the Raiders team, they can't seem to do anything. It's got to be some red flags, right?
Oh, no, I mean, they have a great defense, but I think Jay and Trent are spot on. Nothing triggers me more than play calling that doesn't make any sense. I mean, you watch it week in and week out with a plethora of teams. Auburn is the good example. I mean, you got Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton, and you're running the ball. You have Jackson Arnold. But, like, you just get back to this. I mean, Trent was spot on. They scored, 33 points against the Giants in that crazy comeback in the fourth quarter? And it was no huddle, tempo, let Bo Nix air it out. But then what did they do? They opened the game Thursday night. I swear he had 3 pass attempts in the first quarter. And then they wonder why they can't score. It's just the inadequacies. I mean, Brock Bowers, 3 targets. It's crazy how you bring Joe Flacco into Cincy, throw the ball to Jamar 20 times a game, and all of a sudden they're scoring 40 points. It makes you wonder how some of these guys get paid so much for the decisions they make.
No doubt. Yeah, John, is Denver a contender or a pretender in this AFC?
I think they get beaten the first round of the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No.
I mean, they haven't beaten anybody. I mean, the Titans are the worst team in the NFL, and it's not even close. And now they're tanking, get rid of all their veterans. Tennessee should have beaten them that first game in Denver. Right there, they're just not that good. I mean, they have beaten all these bad teams, and eventually you got to pay the piper.
No doubt. All right, you're listening to the Godzilla Wins Saturday picks show, so it's time to get to some picks right now. We're going to go down to Berlin, Germany. Maybe not down, left, right, I don't know, north, I don't know. I don't have a map.
Over.
We're going over the pond. All right, Indianapolis is favored by 6.5, coming off that crushing, soul-wrenching defeat against the Steelers last week. Kind of exposed them a little bit. That they just need to rely on their run game a little bit more. And then you've got the Atlanta Falcons. They're reeling right now. Lost 3 in a row. Bijan hasn't had over 40 yards in any of those games. Vince, this is an Atlanta team that has sparks and shows some signs of life every once in a while, but then goes into these funks. It feels like it's been for 30 years. They do this all the time. But I think the Colts are a good team. They kind of got exposed a little bit, and turnovers, it's hard to tell. Do you think they get back on track here, get to their roots, get to the kid that's might be the MVP, hand it off to the running back?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they got the perfect opponent for this week, going to Germany. And I think the Colts take care of business on their business trip to Europe, and they cover as well.
Yeah, Trent, do you trust them to go across the pond and cover this 6.5 point spread?
Yeah, I faded the Colts last week, but I will not be doing that this week. The Atlanta run defense is not good. Jonathan Taylor should have a field day. He should touch the ball every bit of 25, 30 times in this game. I think they control the pace of play, run the ball down their throats, and get out of there with a win.
Jay Delsing, Sauce Gardner enters the stage for the Colts too, and one of the biggest trade deadline moves over there, bolsters that defense that looks like they needed a little bit of help on that back end over there. Do you think they go across over to Berlin and cover that spread?
I'm not exactly sure what going, that overseas game does to the players, but I got to tell you, I think the statement that the Indianapolis front office made by picking up a player like Sauce Gardner has got to lift that locker room up. And guys, in the NFL, 81% of the time pick the winning team. Now, it's not easy because the lines are and they are tight, but I pick the team that's going to win and forget about the spread. So I like Indy here. I have a feeling that Atlanta's going to go over that. I don't understand what happens to Atlanta about this time every year, where they lay these eggs, they just don't show up, and maybe Kirk Cousins will play again.
Well, speaking of him, Matthew, that might be the only winner in Atlanta. He does not get traded, collects another $30 million. I'm from the D.C. area. I've watched this guy. So, I mean, his agent's got to be the best agent in the world. That is the richest quarterback that's mediocre thing ever. But Matthew, where are you going with this game?
No, I'm on the Colts. I personally do not believe in Michael Penix at all. I think the only person that should like him is Drake London and the 15 targets he gets a game. But I'm all in on the Colts. I really like Alec Pierce over 52.5 yards. The Falcons run the highest rate of cover 3 and single high safety. Pierce is a unit. He gets 30% first target share against those coverages. That honestly could be one catch for 53 yards. And now he's getting 8 targets a game. I really like that over.
All right, John, what are you thinking here?
You can't bet Atlanta. You know, there's letdown games and then there's bounce back games. I think Indy's flying high. They went into a very mad Pittsburgh Steelers defense last week after getting trashed all over social media and mocked by the beatdown they took that Monday night against the Packers or Sunday night, whenever it was. They bounce back here. You just can't bet it, Atlanta. Penix is horrible. There's something wrong with this team. I've been saying it all season. You just never know what you're going to get. There's something here. This team, I don't know. It doesn't have a soul. I don't even know what they are. So I'm going to lay the 6.5 with the Colts. Bounce back game.
All right. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the same thing. And a team that looks like they're developing a little heart and soul. The Bears, man. The Bears are taking on the Giants. It's in Chicago this week. The line is 4.5. The Bears have won 4 of 5, 3 of 4 since the bye. I was in Bahamas at Baha Mar at the sports book, and on the big screen was that insane Bengals Bears game, and there was a crowd around there. That was exciting. Chicago seems to just kind of figuring it out. 4.5 seems a little low against a Giants team that we thought they were hot, lost 3 in a row now. Scattaboo's out. I'll start with you, Trent. Where are you going to go with this one?
Yeah, I think this line does seem a little low, and I think they're trying to get people to bet Chicago, which is working because they're getting a lot of love from the public here. And I think Jackson Dart is going to have a big game with his legs. The Bears give up the 3rd highest yards per carry to quarterbacks. I think the Giants cover this number with Jackson Dart's legs in this game.
All right, Jay, what are you going to do with this one?
You know, both teams are interesting. I love the energy that Dart and Scattaboo brought to the Giants. I mean, what an organization that needs a lift. I mean, you know, they just got rid of the running back having a senior moment. Sorry, John. Saquon Barkley. I mean, how do you ever live that down? But you know what? I also like what's going on in Chicago, and it looks like a culture change with this new head coach, which the Bears have needed desperately because they have sucked for so long. Tough game to call because I'm with you. I like what Trent said. I expected this number to be, you know, in that 6 range, 6.5 range. So I don't know. My look here is the Giants.
Matthew, where are you going to go?
No, Trent was spot on here. Jackson Dart's legs are going to be a difference. I mean, losing Scattaboo hurts, but you still got the swag king himself out of Ole Miss. I mean, he's given them some moxie. I like what they got going on. The Bears, 3 of the 4 wins, not very convincing to me. You let Snoop Huntley drop a 30-piece on you. I think West Virginia could probably score 50 against the Bengals defense, full transparency. Like,
look at you with that sweatshirt on.
Like you let up 42 points still or something. You just scored 47 against the worst defense in NFL history. That's not going to happen against Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and the squad they got in New York. I like New York to keep this close. And the weather, from last I checked, it's supposed to be like 35 degrees, 20-mile-an-hour winds, possibly snow, which just means low scoring, which means it's going to be close. I really like the Giants.
Vince, what are you going to do here? Is it time for Chicago to have a signature win? Not signature or convincing. I guess it's not signature.
They're definitely trending upward. The Bears are. The weather, as Matthew mentioned, will probably have some impact on this. But boy, I tell you, the Bears have been putting up numbers. And I think if you're looking at I guess you could look at the weather, maybe taking the points away and not being so much of a high scoring game. But I still think the Bears find a way to score points and score enough points to cover the spread.
All right, John, what are you going to do on this one?
I love the Giants here. I'm going to bet them on the money line. I think they're going to win this game. Here's a team, the Bears, that are smoke and mirrors. You know, they just gave up 460 passing yards to Joe Flacco.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
400. He only got 500 yards passing.
Wrong with that.
How old is he? 45? I mean, they can't stop a runny nose. This game, the Giants are going to run this football down their throat. Jackson Dart's going to have a field day. They can't stop anybody. I mean, that game against the Bengals, what they had a 2-touchdown lead with 50 seconds to go and almost blew the game. It's unbelievable. So look, I'm going with the Giants here. The Bears are a fraud. They have no defense. The Giants are a good football team. I know they lost 3 in a row, but I like the Giants here.
I just like, I'm going to go with the Bears here. The weather, makes me think that that might help their defense out here, keep it a little bit closer. Ben Johnson is figuring it out too. I think this is the Bears in a big win, double-digit win. Is that where I'm going to go?
Like it.
Oh yeah, Bill. All right, the next game, and this is a high spread if you know the history, right? Bills at Dolphins. Buffalo is favored by 8.5. They're on the road. We have seen the Bills struggle down in Miami. Obviously it's just a division rival. And also, I mean, Tua, Jalen Waddle have been playing okay, but man, you got the number 1 rushing offense with James Cook versus one of the worst rushing defenses, Vince, that I've seen in a while. When you look at Miami, where do you think this one's going?
Well, you can look at it 2 ways. That maybe the Bills are starting to trend upward, so to speak, with a huge win last week against their rival, the Chiefs. Looks like a possible letdown, but how do you bet on the Dolphins?
It's tough.
If you're going to bet on the Dolphins, then don't bet on this game at all.
Yeah, I mean, Trent, if you bet on the Dolphins, do you have to put some joggers on and cinch them up to just below your knees? And like, how do you watch? What do you do? How do you watch a Dolphins game?
Oh,
how do you?
Yeah, I would not be betting the Dolphins here. I agree with Vince. It could possibly be a letdown spot, but I don't have any faith in Miami doing anything on offense. Tua is not the answer. But both of these rushing defenses are not very good. Right. But that makes me think that both teams could have a game plan to run the ball, which is going to burn clock. And I like the under in this game. I think the Bills probably cover the spread, but I like the under a little bit more.
James Cook, kind of on national media, said he is underappreciated. This man has 5 100-yard games this season. That's a rarity in the NFL right now. Could this be a 600-yard game? What are you thinking?
I like it. I mean, Miami's in disarray, man. That locker room is a mess. So they're getting no love from me. You can't. This game is so violent and so physically demanding. If you start losing heart and you're not going to support the brothers next to you, I'm not betting on them.
Yeah, and how do you have right? And when the front office doesn't even have support, I mean, the GM's just been fired. Obviously, coaches, dead man walking. It looks like Matthew. Is there anything that, besides pride, that some of these Miami Dolphins are playing for, and do they have any chance to cover this?
I mean, I think anybody with a pulse should bet on Buffalo. But that being said, they just took care of the Chiefs yet again. They've got Baker Mayfield coming to town next week in Buffalo. It's going to be 85 degrees, 70% humidity. I'm looking at their injury report. And I think that I've had college essays shorter than this. They're going to be down like 9 defenders, Buffalo. That being said, no chance I can ever put money on what Miami's doing. So I'm just going to take Dalton Kincaid over 35.5 because Miami can't stop tight ends. So we're just going to enjoy that small bet. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Miami cover. I'll leave it at that.
Those are my favorite. I love those. I always rewind.
I mean, you saw what Baltimore did last week. Kyle Pitts put up 60 yards. He's terrible. Yes. Kincaid already put 100 up on him the first meeting. I like Kincaid to get to 40 yards. I don't think that's a lot to ask for.
All right, John, you taking Miami plus 8.5 or 9.5, whatever it was?
Blah, blah, blah. What a bunch of blah, blahs here. Listen, here's my thing. When you are looking at a team that doesn't care, I'm with Jay Delsing 100%. They don't care. They just want to get out of there. This is going to be a beatdown. Bills are trying to win a Super Bowl. Dolphins just want to go play golf and get the hell out of there. I like the Bills minus 8.5.
All right. In a game that all the Pittsburgh Steelers fans will be watching intently, Ravens are at the Vikings. The Ravens are favored 4.5 on the road. They obviously have Lamar Jackson back, and they travel well. The Vikings have J.J. McCarthy, the weirdest SOB in the world. I don't know if I like him or hate him. I can't figure him out. But Trent, he played way better, way above expectations last week, and he's finally put together, a full game instead of just the half of football. Baltimore, that's a pretty big favorite being on the road.
Yeah, I think JJ McCarthy comes crashing down to earth this week. The Baltimore defense, the stats aren't good, but over the last month, they've been playing much better. They're getting healthier. They're figuring things out. They're starting to play as a unit, and it's November, so that means it's time for Derrick Henry to start doing what Derrick Henry does. I think Derrick Henry has a massive game against this Minnesota Vikings rush defense. I like the Ravens to cover the spread here.
Vince, you think McCarthy's leadership can take over and help them get this upset victory at home against a Ravens team that the Vegas just loves the Ravens, right? I mean,
Yeah. Who on this panel had the Vikings beating the Lions last week?
Nobody.
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
Nobody. I was shocked when I saw that final score. Hey, Baltimore's a different team with Lamar, are they not?
Yeah. Yeah, it helps their defense, helps them across the board. Right.
They're starting to get healthy. They're appearing in the Steelers' rearview mirror, and they're fastly approaching. So I think the Ravens win this one and they cover.
All right, Jay. Did I already? No, Jay, you go next.
No, I love the Ravens getting healthy on defense. It's like you said, it's November and everybody in that AFC division is paying attention to that defense. So getting Lamar back, he had 3 games off. I don't know what happened to JJ McCarthy last week. He absolutely crushed our soul in our betting weekend last week. So I'm going to go with Baltimore here. I think he's in for a long day, and I love Derrick Henry to run all over Minnesota.
All right, Matthew, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, I like having Jay and Trent on here. I can just kind of start winning stuff because, I mean, they're like, yeah, it's the defense. I mean, went from 35 points a game until 3 weeks ago. Now they've 13 points a game. I mean, they're getting healthy. They just got Draymond Jones from the Jets, under the radar move, but I mean, it's just going to bolster them even more. They're a different team with Lamar Jackson. And then the Vikings got this weird dude calling himself 9 all of a sudden. Got like some alter ego persona. Like foaming at the mouth in post-game interviews. I mean, it's his 4th career start. The kid's not good. He had 1 good week. I think Baltimore beats the brakes off of him. I think it gets pretty ugly.
Yeah, John, I think JJ does some ayahuasca retreats with old Aaron Rodgers, but every year. He's a weirdo. Do you like him?
Shut up and play the game. You're an asshole. You're embarrassing yourself. I'm not talking about Mitch. I'm talking about McCarthy. You're embarrassing yourself. You look like a jackass. You're embarrassing the organization. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you have a good game. Thank the media. Thank your fans. Thank your coach for an opportunity. Thank your players. Shut up and turn the cameras and the social media off. What a jackass this kid is. I don't want anything to do with him. Ravens beat down.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, and Matthew, you're right. That those moves allow Kyle Hamilton to kind of play closer to the line of scrimmage, stay in the slot. That's a huge move for them to.
No, that's a great get. Very under the radar, just part of the Jets completely disposing their team. And I mean, to Trent and Jay's point, they're healthy. They weren't healthy at the beginning of the season. Lamar's a difference maker. It's going to be ugly.
With that said, Johnny Five's alive, baby. Take the Vikings plus 4.5.
I can't bet that. If that was my son, okay, I would be so pissed. Like, you've got 4 starts. 3, you played a good half. The other 3, you were terrible. You're not even an NFL quarterback. You have 1 good game, and now all of a sudden you're coining yourself a nickname? Like, unbelievable. I just couldn't, like, what is wrong with you? I mean, look, I'm an adult, okay? I'm an adult. I'm 67. You had a good game. Thank everybody. Thank your teammates. Thank your offensive line. Say, I'm going to study the film and try to get better. Instead, you're up there like you just took over football. You're like God's gift or whatever. I can't stand this. I can't stand this guy. He's a little punk. He's a punk ass. And I hope he gets beat down. Nothing to do. I want nothing to do with him.
Yeah, you can't pick your nickname, right? When I was on flag football, when I was in West Virginia flag football in 2000, they named me Millennial Mitch. Like, I hated it, but that's what stuck. It still sticks. Hey, Eminem. I like that. You know what else I like? Take a break from all this tension and all this stuff and going out. some slots and table games, checking on Sports Wall. Rosie's Gaming Emporium, right down the road from me. John, tell everyone about it.
We hit it on Sunday on our bus tour. I made sure that we stopped there. I went little Jack. Look, I love Rosie's because it's so much fun, and they're all over Virginia. And the thing is, they got the highest jackpots and the biggest payouts because they have the lowest take of any casino by the government in the country. That's why the General Assembly set it up. They said they were the first one in. You want to come in, you're going to have to pay your players more, and the state's going to take less of a takeout. So you get bigger jackpots, you get bigger payouts. It's a lot of fun. The atmosphere that Nate Mize, who's the VP of marketing there, it's not like your average casino where it's dark and everybody's, pumping in the oxygen and they're smoking. No, you get none of that, right? They got a lot of windows. It's very different. They want you to enjoy it. They want you to have fun. It's just a great place, and they got mega jackpots. So have some fun. They're all over Virginia from one end to the other. Just go to rosiesgaming.com, rosiesgaming.com. Win money, have fun, and the food is great. rosiesgaming.com.
All right, let's get to our fifth game on this docket right here. And this one we can go quick. It is the Cleveland Browns at the aforementioned New York Jets. Cleveland is favored by 2.5. The over under 38.5, just as what you would think with this game. Shedeur Sanders is the backup. Vince, I know you probably wanted to know that. I'll let you start with this one too, Vince. Can Shedeur Sanders at backup inspire this team to victory?
Should I get my cowboy hat and my sunglasses? Hey, you heard it first. Final score: Cleveland 3, Jets 0. The Browns cover.
Dude, Trent, I love that. I love this. Are you going with this 3-0?
No, I like the Jets. I like the Jets in this one. 25% of the bets, 34% of the money on the money line. I like the Jets to roll. Browns are on a 12-game road losing streak. I don't care that the Jets traded away their two best defensive players. I like the Jets in this one.
All right, Matthew, are you a Dylan Gabriel fan? What are you thinking?
Oh, no, he's worse than Penix. He's worse than McCarthy. The Browns' offense is incompetent. I mean, Judkins is pretty good, but that's all the Jets have to do. I think they got some younger guys on defense that are going to get increased playing time. Obviously, but I do trust them to fill that void. I do think, opposed to Miami, this is a different flip of the script. Justin Fields, he's got some pride, got some integrity. I think these guys realize with Sauce Gardner and Quinn Williams hitting the road, they're all expendable. I think a lot of guys are competing for jobs, competing for the future. They got a ton of picks. I mean, those picks got to be used on someone. It's going to be someone to replace you. I trust the Jets to show up. I think they cover. I think they win outright.
John, the Jets don't seem to ever get anything right. Signed Justin Fields to a pretty hefty contract, and he is not played well.
Jets, go Jets! I really want the Jets to win this game. This is a game they should win at home, even though, like one of my panelists said, they're tanking by trading their veterans. And the reason I need the Jets to win is because, as a hapless, losing, disgusting Titans fan, we suck. I want another first-round pick, baby. So the Jets have got to win. Let's go, Jets, all over it.
All right. That's good motivation there. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Jets as well. Take plus 2.5. I do think Justin Fields has a little bit of pride, and we'll try to figure it out. Breece Hall still there.
Baby, let's go. Got that. Got to get that second win. I want that first-round pick.
And it probably is the best 1:00 game tomorrow. The Patriots go down to Tampa and face the Buccaneers. Tampa is favored by 2.5. Looks like kind of like a home field spread right there. So looks like Vegas is looking at this pretty evenly matched. Obviously, we know the storylines here. Baker Mayfield with the Bucs looked like an MVP for the first half of the season. Patriots may have the kid that is the front runner for the MVP with Drake May right now. Trent, what are you thinking with this one? This is a good matchup.
Yeah, the Patriots had kind of a letdown in the fourth quarter last week. Almost, they were an extra point away from being tied with the Falcons. But I think that had a lot to do with Christian Gonzalez leaving the game with a concussion. He's cleared to play this week. I think that's a big boost to their defense. The public's loving Tampa Bay this week. I love the Patriots on the road as underdogs. Money line and points.
Yeah, Matthew, I think when the public loves a team that's, when the public loves the team playing in New England, you never know if it's just their hate for New England, right? So do you go with the public sentiment on here at all, or just to, kind of use your other factors to figure out who you're picking?
No, much how you had your little gambling disclaimer at the beginning. I feel like every Patriots game, I need to have like the bias disclaimer. Everything I say is going to be pro Patriots, so just deal with it. I think, but to get John fired up, on the flip side, we got Drake May, front runner for the MVP, as he should be. Plays pretty bad against Atlanta. He comes out, talks about how bad he plays. Complete flip from McCarthy. So I'm proud of my quarterback.
Yeah.
That being said, Christian Gonzalez, game changer. You see him come back from the injury early in the season. You can't run against New England. You put him against whoever out there. He's going to take Igbuka away. Mayfield's going to have to throw the ball 40 times. I think Drake May is going to put up 24 points against any defense. And New England can't run anyway, which is the strength of the Bucs defense. I think New England wins outright.
Vince, one heck of a matchup at 1 p.m. Where are you going with it?
Yeah, this is one of, I think, in my humble opinion, 3 marquee matchups. The other one being the Niners, Rams, and the Eagles Packers game on Monday night.
What are the Steelers?
I think this game is going to be a field goal game. And with that said, because it's at Tampa and the line's 2.5, I think we go Bucs cover barely.
John, the Patriots have maybe the best head coach in football ever created in football.
Yeah.
In Mike Vrabel, right? What's going to happen?
This is my best bet of the week. The party's over for the Patriots. Okay, the party's over, guys.
I can't wait for
You're
4
going to go
o'clock
down.
tomorrow.
You're going to go down there, and you're going to get your ass smoked by Baker Mayfield. I love the Bucs in this game. I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Patriots are living a charmed life right now. I know we got a couple big Pats fans here. Good luck, guys, going to Tampa. This is my best bet of the weekend. All college and all pro. My best bet. Tampa wins this game handily. Go Bucs.
Handily, like the Tampa Bay home field.
Like 17.
What do they shoot cannons directly?
Like 31-17 or something. 31. Game's not even going to be. Tampa's a better team. Look, if the Patriots go down there and they win this game, I'll be a believer. Right now, I'm not. We'll see what happens. Love Tampa Bay.
Come on, Vrabel just went to go see his jersey get retired a couple years ago. He can't.
Hey, let's make a pack here. If the Patriots win tomorrow, John, you have to wear some Patriots swag next Saturday on this show.
I'll never do it. No,
I will send you my Drake May jersey.
Okay,
live,
send me that.
and Godzilla wins.
Send me that, and I'll put if they win the game, I'll put it on for the first 5 minutes because that's about all of it I'm going to be able to take.
I just can't wait for about 4:05 p.m. tomorrow to get that text from John. I'm a believer.
Well, yes. I mean, if they win this game, I'm a believer. They haven't beat. They look. Let's see what happens. Right? Talk is cheap. McCarthy, asshole. Play the game.
That's right. All right. Next game.
Damn that kid.
Next game, we talked about one of the better games on the docket. Here's not one. Saints at Panthers. Carolina is favored by 5.5. Panthers have showed some life. I guess see what happens. Vince, where are you going to go with this game?
Yeah, I think probably the not the most glamorous game on the schedule, but the Panthers are playing much better football and they're much better than the Saints. So take the Panthers.
I mean, Trent. The Panthers beat the Green Bay Packers last week. Do they roll that momentum and win by 5.5 or whatever?
Yeah, I think they win this game just because the Saints want them to win this game. But the sharps look to be on the Saints. I'm gonna take the Saints plus points. Don't expect them to win, but I think they cover.
Oh, he's going with the sharps on this one, Matthew. What are you doing?
I'm also with the Saints on this one, strictly off of I don't think Ted McMillan's playing, which is a big blow to that Panthers offense that already can't score. I don't think I can trust Carolina to score enough points to win by 6 or more. And I do trust Kellen Moore to make Schaff improve, which isn't much difficult after that performance last week. So,
John, what are you doing with this one?
I love the Saints in this game. It's my second best bet. Not as good as Tampa, but I love the Saints here. If you're a Saints fan, and I know you had a tough season, but this kid, Kellen Moore, I call him a kid, he's a man, but to me, he's younger. I mean, he's got this team playing hard. Every week, they play right through the final gun. They're playing hard. They're scrappier than meets the eye. They've been in some games at the beginning. I think they go down here and win this game outright. I'm certainly going to take the 6 with them. But Kellen Moore has gotten a lot of abuse when he was with Dallas, and he was with, I think then he was with the Chargers as their offensive coordinator or something. I think he's done a really good job here. I mean, if you look at Titans and Saints, both have one win. Saints have hope. Titans don't have any. And he's got them playing for something. They play hard for this guy. And so I like the Saints here. I think they get their second win.
All right, Matthew and Trent, I need you to get on the computers right now because I don't understand this Jaguars at Texans spread at all. Vince, it is -1.5 for Jacksonville. We don't have CJ Stroud playing right now. Jaguars just got Jacoby Myers. It feels like a game where the Jaguars should be favored a little bit more, Vince. Scaring me. Let these two do the analysis below so we can figure out why this is happening. But what are you thinking on this one?
Yeah, this Jacksonville's getting they're not getting any respect at all, are they? But Houston's playing better. Houston's got a formidable defense. It is in Houston. So I think in a defensive battle, I think Houston wins this game.
All right, Trent, after much analysis, 7 seconds I gave you. What do you think?
Yeah, well, Brian Thomas is out for the Jags, so I think that has a little bit to do with the line. And then Houston's defense at home plays pretty well. But I like the Jaguars to get this done on the ground. Houston's going to have to rely on their run defense or their rushing attack on offense. Jaguars have the third best rushing defense in the league. I think that's the difference. I think the Jags win this game.
What does it say, Matthew, or Davis Mills? It's almost like his wins above replacement is like even with CJ Stroud in people's minds. Like, I don't get that. I know Stroud hasn't played that great. Also, that I think the over-under is the lowest of the week at 37.5 also for anybody that wants to throw down on that. Matthew, what do you think?
No, I think you made a great point. Stroud hasn't played great football. But that being said, the last few weeks has looked better. I personally believe it's been an O-line issue the entire time. That O-line is abysmal. And by no means are they good, but they seem more respectable is not even the correct word to use here. They seem usable would be probably the right way to put it. This Jacksonville team isn't very good. Trevor Lawrence is a Clemson guy. He can't really read through his progressions at all. He's got no Brian Thomas Jr., no Travis Hunter. Jacoby Myers going to have less than a week with the playbook. Right. That defense, we all watched them barely sneak out against Kansas City. They shouldn't have beat coaches 49ers. That was just an implosion, self-inflicted wounds. 4 turnovers, I think it was, by San Francisco in that game. Houston's got a great defense. Davis Mills, I'm not saying he's good, but he's been a starter. I think they take care of it at home. I think they're the better team.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Texans as well. There's something fishy about this line, and I'm all over. Oh, John, how could I forget you? Sorry.
Texans defense wins this game. Travis Hunter not being, to me, he's the key guy out. He's the best athlete in the NFL right now. Losing him is a big blow. They have no quarterback. Jacksonville. I think the Texans defense wins this game.
Yeah, again, it's like, for whatever reason,
Nico
I think
Collins is back as well. So there's Davis Mills.
Yeah.
Nico Collins back from concussion gives Mills a very solid target to go to.
Sure. All right. Yeah, you've convinced me. You're right. And the Stroud injury doesn't even really play into this.
It's a downgrade, but I still think it's more of just fixing the O-line is the big issue.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next game. Hey, we always have a team that becomes the flavor of the week. Everyone is now on the Seattle Seahawks, and Vince is shaking his head. He is over on that side. They have been impressive. They are favored by 6.5 against a Cardinals team that is starting Jacoby Brissett, and sounds like probably starting him for the remainder of the season. Things are in a little bit of disarray in Arizona as always. Trent, I'll start with you. Seattle's -6.5, over under 44.5.
Yeah, I like what Arizona did by naming Jacoby Brissett the starting quarterback and kind of taking the Kyler Murray controversy out of the way. Brissett's played pretty decent this year, and the big key is he's finding Trey McBride in the red zone. I think that's going to be a difference in this game. And Seattle is out without Torrey Horton, who scored twice last week, and A.J. Barner is questionable, their tight end. I think injuries could hurt Seattle this week. I like Arizona to cover the spread.
Oh, Arizona covering the spread. I don't know. Matthew, what are you thinking here? Seattle's hot.
No, I'm with him. I think everybody knows as much as I love the Patriots. On the flip side, I hate Kyler Murray that much. I've been advocating for years. He's not an NFL quarterback. You see what they're doing with Jacoby Brissett. McBride has more touchdowns in 3 games with him than he does with Murray in like 2 years. And you've got Jonathan Gannon coming out after the game last week, the 4th overall pick. It took him 20-something games. Oh, we came in with the play calls. First 10 balls, we're going to go to Marv. It's like, guys, it took you 20-something games to figure out that your 4th overall pick, possible generational wide receiver, should get the ball out of the gate. Like, but I like what Arizona's doing. I mean, they're playing good football. I think 6.5 is too much. I like them to cover.
Oh, Vince, he's taking away their former star quarterback, saying that's a positive. What do you think here?
Yeah, Seattle, boy, I saw the odds last night. They're one of the top, I think, 7 or 8 teams to win it all this year, according to Vegas. And one thing with Seattle is, we always thought about the 12th man and how much of a home field advantage. They're actually a better road team over the last few years than they have been a home team, which is quite surprising. With that said, Arizona had a big win against the Cowboys, but I don't see any way the Cardinals slow down the Seahawks in this one.
John, does Sam Darnold and the boys keep rolling here? Or can they win by a touchdown?
I love the Cardinals in this spot. Dang. I love them to win this game outright. I'm going to bet them on the money line and certainly take the 6.5. And I think when you make a decision, the Cardinals are not that bad. The problem with Arizona has been the whole Kyler Murray situation. That's finally put to bed. It's finally over. And we all were waiting for his breakout season. He has so much talent, but he just doesn't. Maybe it's a work ethic, doesn't go to the family. I don't know what it is. But I think when you finally move past that and you say, okay, we've given up. He's not our guy. And we're going to go to somebody else. I think that after that game last week, I think at home, very, very tough for Seattle. I mean, I know they've been winning. They've been blowing everybody out. I like the Cardinals here to win this game.
Oh, man, I don't. I'm going to go with Seattle, 6.5. I figure if all these teams that have become the hottest teams are good for like a couple weeks, so let Seattle, do that for one more week. All right, this is Vince's. Even though you didn't put Pittsburgh and the Chargers as one of your games of the week, Vince, which is making me upset. I don't know why. It's making me bubble right now, but this one is great. Man, the Rams at the 49ers. 49ers obviously had injury issues earlier this season. Those seem to be going away. You have Christian McCaffrey. When he is in, he is still top 3 player in the NFL when he is rolling. The Rams, Puka's back. They seem to be rolling as well. I love this game. The Rams are favored. Did I get that right? The Rams are favored on the road by 4.5. I had a double take on that one. Vince, we'll go with you towards the end. Trent, what are you thinking here in Vince's game of the week, or one of them?
Yeah, Mac Jones drawing another start in place of Brock Purdy. He's had 4 interceptions in his last 4 games. I think this Rams defense gets to him, pressures him a little bit. And then you got Matthew Stafford and Devontae Adams on the other side. They make fade routes and goal line passes look like run plays. They're converting them so well. I think the Rams handle business here and cover the spread.
Oh, Matthew, I'm just looking at the trends here. So we have 4.5 on here, but it's 5.5 now. Started at 3.5. Seems like they're begging you to take the 49ers here. I like Trent's pick here. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm also with the Rams. They've been one of my Super Bowl picks from the beginning. I think they're going to come in with a pretty clear head after slipping up the first meeting. Coach will probably be an advocate. I feel like these teams every year, every game's close. 1-1 season split seems pretty realistic every year. I do think they're the better team. I was disappointed to see the 49ers not get an edge rusher before the deadline. I was very surprised by that. Parasol's still out, a little bit of a blow. I like the Rams to get it done.
All right, Vince. I mean, Matt Stafford is playing tremendous football again. I mean, these old guys aren't giving in right now. Do you think the lack of a pass rush and injuries are still going to hurt the 49ers, or do you think they can take?
I think we're seeing the effects. Just when we thought the 49ers were on the verge of getting healthy, they lost their first round draft pick last week, Michael Williams, to a season-ending injury. Their defensive line is in disarray right now. And to go back, I kind of followed the whole thing this week with what Matt had mentioned about the 49ers pursuing and getting an edge rusher. And they just felt that it wasn't, which makes you kind of wonder, do they think does management feel that it's just not our year? I mean, we're just going to have to ride with what we have. And Robert Saleh's done an outstanding job with the defense, no question about it, with the amount of injuries they have. To see that line continue to increase, I think, like I said, it started at 2.5, now it's up to 4.5. I can't even remember the last time the 49ers were an underdog on their own field against the Rams. Logic says Rams, but I'm going to go with my heart and say 49ers in this one.
You know what? You're getting some points there. You're starting off 5.5-0, John. I mean, it's not the most insane thing, right?
I'm going to bet San Francisco.
Oh, all right.
I'm going to be the contrarian here. Everybody's all over the Rams. I have picked against the 49ers every week because of the injuries. I think I've won one bet, so I'm done with that. At home, somehow they stay in this game. Somehow they keep it close. And at the end of the day, they still got McCaffrey. And as long as he's playing, he goes crazy. I mean, San Francisco, like Coach just said, when was the last time they were a 6-point underdog against the Rams? Like the 70s when they had Roman Gabriel? I mean, I forget it. I'm gonna wait till game time. Maybe I can catch 6 with them. So I like the Niners.
Damn, I need to
remember, John, in those days, the 49ers had John Brody.
That's right.
We just do old guy radio.
Roman Gabriel was on there. Remember the Roman Gabriel days and John Bray? That was fun. John Hadel, right, with the Chargers. That was
Yards in a cloud of dust. Is that what you guys want to call your podcast? Just call it that and just start it up.
No, that was after Roman Gabriel. You had Chuck Knox, I think it was his name.
Ground Chuck.
They called him Ground Chuck, and it was like 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He said, if you throw the football, 3 things can happen. Two of them are bad. That was Chuck Knox, Ground Chuck. I don't know how I read
the air raid. Can we move forward into the 80s?
Go ahead.
All right, next game. Oh man, what a difference a year makes for one of these teams. Lions at Commanders. Lions are favored by 7.5.
I'll start. I'm going to make it easy. Okay.
Good.
Washington, too many injuries, too many bad things happen to them right now. The defense is too old. Detroit is pissed after getting smoked in this game. Washington has about as much chance of winning this game as I have about being elected mayor of Washington, D.C. -7.5. Go with it. Lions.
All right, let's go quick here. Vince, where are you going to go with this one?
I think John's selling himself short on being the mayor of Washington, D.C. But with that said, yeah, Lions are going to roll in this win. Combining the injuries and the Lions losing against the Vikings, Lions come back with a roar this weekend.
Trent, I grew up around D.C. when like a crackhead was mayor, so I think he could probably become mayor at some point. Trent, where are you going with this game?
Yeah, the Lions are in a bounce back spot here. I thought the spread would be a little closer to 10, which kind of scares me. So I'm going to stay away from that and take the over in this game, and hopefully they score a bunch of points.
All right, Matthew, where are you going?
Yeah, one team's failed to cover the spread in 5 of their last 6. The other team just lost to a kid with a bowl cut calling himself 9. I mean, I think I'd be a little bit pissed off, and I think I'd be ready to rebound, probably take out a little frustration. I think the Lions win by 17 plus.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Lions here as well. It sounds like the Commanders need to rest up a little bit, get healthy. Maybe we need to send them over some comfortable swag from the MyPillow website. John, what do you think?
Well, this just in on ESPN, President Donald Trump, this is not politics. Trump wants the Washington football team, which I want to change back to the Redskins, to name their planned $3.7 billion stadium after him. So it would be called Trump Field. This just in on ESPN. This is not political commentary. I'm just reading the wire I got.
RFK. It was RFK before. Make it RFK Jr. It just makes sense.
That's what I think it should be, RFK Jr. But he wants to he wants to name it Trump Field. So we'll see what happens.
On my first concert there, Pink Floyd, baby, 94.
I know it was that was back in the days, right, when that thing. I never went there in their heyday. But they tell me that when the Redskins were winning and they played at RFK Stadium, they told me if you were sitting in the stands and like Riggins got a first down, like the whole stadium would shake.
Yeah, the whole part where the convertible part. Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
I went to the last game ever there against the Cowboys too. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Let our listeners know about some MyPillow.
Listen, Mike Lindell and MyPillow, they've been sponsors of Godzilla Wins from day one. I remember when we started the show, I called him up. He answered his cell. I told him what I was doing, and he said, "I love that. That's fun. You should do that. I'll be a sponsor." And he has been there from us from day one. And MyPillow is now excited to announce they're having their biggest 3-in-1 sale ever with a limited edition product, a back in stock special, and an overstock deal you're not going to find anywhere, Vince. Now, I got to show you these, right? My slippers, $39.98. I just bought 2 more pair. I got them on right now. These things are unbelievable. Soon as I get up, 2 things. I get my coffee. I know that's coming, but as soon as I get up out of bed, I put on my MyPillow slippers. I got them on right now. You can get it for $39.98. At that price, I just bought two pair to just have when the others wear out. $39.98, any color. They're normally $150 with promo code Godzilla. Going to save $110. My towels are finally back in stock, but not for long. You get a 6-piece towel set. Change your whole opinion on towels because they're so phenomenal. I even travel with them. I put them in a bag because I hate the hotel towels. Queen 17. So that's only $39.98. Going to save $30 there. And of course, premium MyPillows, Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. And for a limited time, when your order is over $100, you receive free shipping plus $100 in free digital gifts. Now, all you got to do is go to mypillow.com/Godzilla, put in promo code Godzilla, get all the deals there, mypillow.com, or give them a call, 800-854-0504, 800-854-0504. Operators standing by. All you have to do is give them promo code Godzilla, 800-854-0504, or go to mypillow.com/Godzilla. And thank you, MyPillow. A big shout out to their marketing VP, Dawn Curtis. Great lady, super to work with, Dawn. We love you, and for all you do, you're the best. Go to mypillow.com/Godzilla.
All right. Well, hopefully the Pittsburgh Steelers brought some MyPillows with them as they are flying across the country facing the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers favored by 2.5. Steelers coming off a pretty big win last week against the Colts. People had kind of written off their defense. The Steelers all of a sudden get 6 turnovers. They seem to be a team that needs those turnovers to have this efficiency and get these wins. Chargers offensive line is decimated. Not good news when you're facing, the AFC Defensive Player of the Week and Alex Highsmith and also TJ Watt. Trent, where do you think this game is going to go? Can the Steelers get some momentum and prove they belong at the top of the AFC?
No, I do not. The public loves the Steelers after a huge win against the Colts last week. I love the Chargers in this spot. The Justin Herbert's going to have a big day through the air against the Steelers' pass defense. I like the Chargers.
Matthew, it seems like the Steelers' running game has been very struggling, to say the least. Yeah. There's potential there with their big packages and so forth. They must get that running game going to have a chance in this game, right?
Yeah, for sure. But, Trent's spot on. Indiana Jones played more like Danny Dimes last week. I think he was having flashbacks to New York, 6 turnovers. It was rough. Justin Herbert's not going to turn the ball over 6 times. And this is another play calling thing. If I'm especially no Joe Alt, that's a big blow. But, drop back, let him sling it 50 times. He's got McConkey, Johnston, Keenan Allen, Gadsden. He should have a field day, and they should win. No issue.
No issue. Okay, we'll.
That Pittsburgh secondary, I don't think stands a chance. To be honest,
what are you talking about? We got Ramsey at safety. We're good.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, it felt like last week. The way to stop these pass rushes, against Myles Garrett and TJ, is these quarterbacks get the ball out in 2.5 seconds, 2.7 seconds, and exploit the middle of the field, which for some reason the Colts didn't do this week. Vince, I would think that it's going to be a quick passing attack, trying to go over the middle of that field, which trying to test the linebackers and the dime nickel safeties and stuff.
Yeah, a Jim Harbaugh team's not going to turn the ball over 6 times like Matt and Trent mentioned. 2 is a lot for a Harbaugh team. Going to be a close game, no doubt about it. Probably going to be a field goal game. And once again, a field goal game, 2.5. Chargers win with Dicker the kicker. But my biggest concern is, where are Brendan and Logan this week?
They're at the hey, West Virginia, the military. They're covering covering our game. They're covering our game. Hey, don't worry, we might have a podcast in the works. We're working on it. John, where are you going to go?
Oh yeah, remind me about that, Mitch. Monday, I forgot what on the bus tour. I just got overwhelmed. I forgot about it, but just remind me Monday.
I will.
And we'll figure it out. I'm sorry, I just forgot about it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was so busy last week with that Virginia debacle that we were dealing with. By the way, Mitch, do you live in Virginia?
I do.
Get out.
I do.
Get out.
I live in Fauquier County. It's the first time that one of the upper Fauquier voted that way. First time.
I live in the safest city in America. I'm so glad I'm out of there. Basically, you now have a communist state. Okay, no politics. What were we talking about?
Steelers. Pick the Steelers. Come on.
No, I love
Goochland, Bon Air, Chester.
I love the Chargers.
107.7.
All right, Eagles, Packers, look, go.
And WJFB.
Eagles,
Packers.
Love the Packers.
I love the Eagles as well. Hey, you've been listening to Godzilla Wins Pick Show. We will see you next week at 9:00. Thank you, Vince, John, Trent, and Matthew. It's always a pleasure. Can't wait to see you all next week. Here we go, Steelers. Let's go, Mountaineers.
Jay Delsing show next.
Oh, yeah.